Okay, hello everyone. We should be up and streaming. Let me pull up the channel and change. I'm pretty sure it's still set to my old office hours unit. So let me just change that real quick. This is gonna be a short office hours today. Unfortunately, I have to get some. I have to pick up my daughters early this week. So but I want to quickly get in the sense and get you up to speed on how the class is working and what is going to go on this week. So all the material for Unit 1 is now live. And so hopefully that should be up there and you should be able to access it. I've seen a couple of responses, so I think that people are able to do it already, which is great. Um, and, and there is one important note about the differences between this year's um, um, the software package NetLogo this year and the version we used last year. Basically, the look and the feel has changed quite a little bit, right? So I hope everyone is really kind of getting into it and kind of starting to look through all the materials. I think that they're very useful for kind of starting to get up to speed on agent-based modeling. And I'm going to be meeting with you. I'm going to be sending you emails once a week, like I did yesterday. I'll also be doing this kind of an office hour once a week at 11 o'clock on Tuesdays. And so you're more than welcome to kind of chime in and see what's going on at that time. Let me send out a tweet real quick, just so everyone knows that we're now meeting. So office hours are now live at youtube.com/billrand/live. Okay. Um, and um, and this will be the main way we'll be communicating over the course of the semester. Feel free to send me emails at any time, for sure, and kind of let me know if there's any problems. As I mentioned, one issue that might come up is that we have definitely looked at the relationship between NetLogo 5.3 and NetLogo 6 already. And we don't see that there's much difference between them in terms of what we're going to be doing in this course. But just in case there are, right, let us know if there's anything that comes up, anything that you notice as a result of that, right? And so that's one area to kind of keep an eye out for. As I mentioned, the old videos will all be in NetLogo 5.3, but as we update the videos, those will be in NetLogo 6, right? And we're hoping to slowly update all the ones that will be used over the course of the semester, right? We'll also I already have one request back about someone who's really interested in level space, right? And I've had a couple other people ask about that, and we will definitely be discussing. That's the new NetLogo feature that allows you to connect multiple models together. So those will definitely be up and running, and we'll have some videos on those to kind of help out and explain what's going on with those. Just check one last place. I want to make sure I have the messages boards, see if there's any other questions I need to address. But right now, your goal for this week really is to kind of get up to speed, start going through the videos, get to know a little bit about what agent-based modeling is, try and understand the kind of the basic concepts, get a little bit familiar with NetLogo, right? And this will be going on for the next 2 weeks, basically, that we'll be working through Unit 1. And after that, we'll be starting to go around, we'll be starting to work with some introductory materials, right? Kind of really get those up together. So we'll be building a simple model. We'll then be looking at taking a model someone else has built and extending that. Then we'll talk about how to create a model from the ground up, from a basic idea and the question you might have, all the way to analyzing the model and going through it. Then we'll take a step back, review everything we've learned, and really talk about what the basic components of an agent-based model are. After we've done all that, we're going to start looking at analyzing those models. How do you understand what's coming out of a model, right? And then we're going to talk about some important concepts from the point of view of making your models actually useful to anyone else, which is verification, validation, and replication, right? Then at the very end, I'll talk a little bit about where agent-based modeling came from, now that you've got a perspective, and some advanced methods and techniques. And that's really where I'll talk a little bit about level space and things like that, right? So that's the basic outline for the course. Now, the course does have a number of quizzes and tests. The quizzes are kind of just there to kind of check your knowledge capture of any particular individual unit. There's a test, or sorry, a subunit. There is a test at the end of every unit, and that test is actually you have to achieve, I believe it is above 70%. I'll double check that, but above 70% on all the tests in order to get a certificate at the end of the course. You also have to achieve above 70% on the project, and we're going to talk about the project shortly. But I want you to kind of start thinking about the project right away. So the project is the big aspect of this course. It's the most important aspect of how you actually learn agent-based modeling, which is you actually go out and build a model yourself, right? And in the project, we're gonna do that in stages. The first stage is I'm gonna ask you to fill out a little form that kind of gives you starts to make you think about what you want to model, right, and how you might put that model together, right? And then the second stage, right, is then actually starting to implement the model, right? And then eventually you're actually going to submit a model to Complexity Explorer that is going to be graded by your peers, right? And so we use a nice peer feedback system. It worked very well last year, where basically your peers are asked to evaluate how well your model does at meeting the goals that you set out for yourself, right? Now, obviously, everyone has a different model, everyone has a different idea, and so really what we're looking at is trying to see how well you can meet your own goals, okay? So that's the basic, kind of overall outline of the course in a brief notion. There's a couple of videos go into much more detail about it, so I highly recommend you take a look at those. Just keep working along. By the way, I do recommend if there is a complimentary textbook to the course, which was written by me with Uri Walensky and myself. Uri is the kind of author and director of the NetLogo programming language. So I'm going to pull it up real quick on Amazon so you can see it. But the book is called An Introduction to Agent-Based Modeling. Now, the book also uses the older versions of NetLogo as well. It hasn't been updated to NetLogo 6 yet either, though hopefully we'll be able to get that done at some point in the future. Uri and I have already discussed that. But just so you can see it, let me pull it up for you. So there you go. So there's the book right there, right? And it's fairly reasonable. We worked with MIT Press to try and keep the price down a little bit on it. And so I highly recommend, if you really want to have a good written companion, that you take a look at that book. Okay, Introduction to Agent-Based Modeling, Modeling Natural, Social, and Engineering Complex Systems in NetLogo. So that is the major companion to the book, right? Anyways, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, please let me know. Please shoot me an email at abm@complexityexplorer.org, or you can tweet at me at Bill Rand or at Intro to ABM actually as well. And we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can with requests. I noticed that there's been a couple of questions in the inbox already. And I plan to get to those as soon as I can. So I don't think I have much else to say today. It doesn't look like there's any other questions that have come in on the live chat or anything. So I think that's it for today. By the way, if you ever miss these videos, then I will post the recorded videos to the summer 2017 YouTube list, and I will also post them up in the forums as well, so you'll be able to find them that way. So that is kind of the way you can always catch up on any of the material here. If you want me to answer a particular question about the week's materials, or you think it would be helpful, definitely send it to me ahead of time. You can join in the live chat. There's an ability on YouTube, if you go to youtube.com/BillRand/live, to actually post a question while I'm actually talking, and I'll see it right away. You can also tweet during the chat. I do check that. I often don't check email while the office hours are going on because that's a little tricky to do all those things, right? But those are the kind of the important aspects. So I highly recommend being active in the course. I've seen people already posting on the forums, which I love. I think that's fantastic. I think the forums are a vital way for the course to really take off, right? Because there's a lot of people who are taking the course, and it's great to have people kind of responding and talking to each other. And I think it really promotes a kind of devoted, dynamic community to have everyone out there and engaged. And some great collaborations people have gotten out of the forums in the past. So I'm hoping to see the same thing again this year. Again, yeah, please reach out. Let me know what other questions or comments you have. And I think I'm going to call it for the day. So have a good week, everyone. Hope everything on Unit 1 goes well. And let me know if you have any questions or concerns.